There's been a landmark judgment from the Supreme Court with strong bearings on the political contours around NRC as well as the CAA, with Assam at its center. The top court today gave a majority verdict that upheld a contentious section of the Citizenship Act, Section 6A, that also is a very critical basis of the NRC. The court said impact of migration in Assam is greater. Migration impact in terms of numbers and resources is much greater for Assam when you compare it to other states that are part of India and have similar challenges. Cutoff date of March 25, 1971 is reasonable, is constitutional. That is, it is within the bounds of the Constitution. This is hugely important and we'll get to it why. It's a delicate balance between migrant rights and protection of indigenous population. That's what the Supreme Court in a majority judgment has said, but there's a judge that has dissented. That's Justice Pardiwala, who said the provision was unconstitutional with prospective effect. The burden is put on the state, that's Assam in this case, to detect, deport illegal immigrants. This also has been the center of a huge political furore. Well, but importantly, the court also did not undermine the challenge from illegal immigration. Significant challenges due to porous borders, incomplete fencing, stares at Assam. Ongoing influx of migrants through borders is a challenge, and that there is inadequate enforcement of 6A of the Citizenship Act. That's the important bearing. Petitioners have claimed that 6A section of the Citizenship Act is discriminatory against the right to equality, by which they essentially mean a different standard for Assam versus rest of India is against the right to equality, and that it is arbitrary, illegal, causing demographic changes, reducing locals to a minority, affecting job opportunities. So what's in a date? Let's just get you the larger picture. Citizenship Act of Section 6A for Assam particularly allows for the entry point being January 1st, 1966, March 24th. But let me go through that again. January 1, 1966 to March 24th, 1971. The Citizenship Act says that anyone can register as citizens if detected as foreigners. But they will be excluded from the electoral rolls for 10 years after registration. But after 24th March 1971, they're going to be classified as illegal immigrants. It is complex, but let's just break this down for you and let me get you different perspectives. First up, I'm being joined by Sushmita Dev at this point, who's also MP from Assam. Thank you very much. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Ms. Sushmita Dev, my first question to you, since you represent that region also in the parliament, this is being seen as a landmark judgment by the Supreme Court, particularly amid a whole lot of furore, political debate, back and forth. But how do you really look at this? How is this playing out for you?
You see, I think it comes as a blessing to the people of Assam, because citizenship in Assam is one of the most controversial issues. You know that Assam had the NRC, and so many controversies emanated from that NRC. Until today, that NRC has not seen the light of the day. So now that 24th March 1971, the cutoff date for citizenship in the state of Assam for historical reasons has been upheld by the Supreme Court as constitutional. At least it puts that part of the politics at rest. It puts that, because the controversy was, should it be 1951 like it is in the rest of the country, or should it be 1971? And at different times, there have been different political maneuvering in Assam for votes to earn favor of certain communities. I hope that comes to a final stop, because it's important for the progress and peace in Assam.
But do you really see this as a shot in the arm for the NRC?
NRC has been totally scuttled by the Bharatiya Janata Party government in the center and the government in Assam. You see, it was mandatory for the NRC to be published, which means by a gazette notification of the Registrar General of India. After spending more than 1600 crores and huge effort and harassment of the people of Assam, people having to travel across the state to show their documents. Nothing has come out of the NRC. And what the Chief Minister of Assam is doing is he uses the NRC when it suits him. And then he says, I don't accept this NRC because I don't accept the figure of 19 lakh foreigners only. He finds it too little for Assam. Let me give you a recent example. When it came to biometrics, releasing the biometrics of the people of Assam, which had been withheld because of NRC, he said all the people whose names are in the NRC will have their biometrics and get their Aadhaar card. And if your name is not in the NRC, you're not going to get biometrics and therefore not going to get Aadhaar card. So Assam government can't make up their mind, and neither can the Modi government, that do they accept this NRC or they don't. They just use it conveniently, and it is a huge harassment for the people.
Okay. But just coming back to what the Supreme Court has said, the Supreme Court has upheld it constitutionally, but the Supreme Court, the inference or the result of that is obviously with upholding this is there's going to be no voting rights as such for 10 years. What's the political implications of that?
Supreme Court has also said that why are you not sealing the borders of Assam? Everybody wants the borders, the international borders of Assam to be sealed so that illegal migration stops. Because unless there is, till the time there is a fear for migration, it is not the Assamese people who suffer, it's not the tribal people who suffer, but it's the people who don't speak these languages, i.e., honestly speaking, being a Bengali from Assam is the Bengalis of Assam who are always seen as foreigners or outsiders. So now with Supreme Court upholding the constitutionality of 6A of the Citizenship Act 1955, at least puts that politics to end. And I would like to put another important thing on record, is that recently in 2019, the Home Ministry of India set up a committee called the Biplab Sharma Committee and asked them to review certain aspects of the Assam Accord, saying, has the Assam Accord been implemented? Meaning that while Assam had to absorb so many foreigners who came into Assam till 1971, the government of India at that time, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi signed the accord, said that we will take certain measures to ensure that the culture, the identity, the society of the Assamese people are not diluted because of so many migrants. Now, what the Biplab Sharma Committee did is they embarked on a journey of defining what is Assamese people, and they took the cutoff date back to 1951 in defining who are Assamese. The point I'm making is Bharatiya Janata Party, through the back door, through the Biplab Sharma Committee, tried to bring back 1951 as the cutoff date. And the current Chief Minister of Assam recently, not even 15 days back or 20 days back, said he will implement the Biplab Sharma Committee report, the 52 recommendations, which defined Assamese people as people, indigenous, tribal, non-tribal, who were citizens of Assam living in Assam before 1951. So today's Supreme Court judgment, the political impact of it is it has scuttled that design of the Chief Minister of Assam and the central government to bring in 1951 through the back door. I
Hmm.
think that's the political point that we need to highlight today.
Right. Ms. Sushmita Dev, thank you very much for joining us and for sharing your opinions. Thank you very much. Well, let me just open this up to our panelists as well. I'm being joined by Sharda Prasad, who's a former DGP for Assam, Pramod Swamy, who's a leader for BJP, Raman Jha, who's a spokesperson for Assam, for the Congress in Assam. Thank you very much, all three of you, for joining us. Well, first, let me just go to Pramod Swamy at this point. Pramod Swamy, do you welcome what the Supreme Court has said?
देखिए, ऐसा है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अपना जो रायदान दी है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट की रायदान का हम सम्मान करते हैं। लेकिन आसाम के लोगों के अंदर में एक वेदना है। आसाम में एक लंबा आंदोलन चला विदेशी भगाओ के नाम पे, और जो अकॉर्ड हुआ आसाम अकॉर्ड 1985 में, और जो कट आउट डेट जो है सिटीजनशिप के लिए पूरे भारत वर्ष में वो 1951 है, लेकिन आसाम अकॉर्ड के तहत उसको 1971 उसको अकॉर्ड के तहत माना गया। तो 20 वर्षों का अतिरिक्त जो बोझा है वो आसाम ने ऑलरेडी ले चुके हैं। तो आसाम की जो कल्चर है, आसाम की जो आइडेंटिटी है, असमीज लोगों की कल्चर आइडेंटिटी, और जो ये विदेशी जो अग्रसन से जो यहाँ की सभ्यता और संस्कृति को जो खतरा जो पहुंचा है, उससे यहाँ के लोग दुखी हैं और इसका एक समाधान चाहते हैं। और आसाम अकॉर्ड के ही 6 नंबर दफा का, जिसके इससे पहले जो सुष्मिता देव जी बोल रही थी 6 नंबर दफा के बारे में, तो आसाम अकॉर्ड में ही 6 नंबर दफा में जो आसाम के लोगों के, असमीज लोगों के जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट है, लेजिस्लेटिव राइट है, जो हेरिटेज है, जो कल्चर है, उसको प्रोटेक्शन करने के लिए उसमें आसाम अकॉर्ड में वादा किया गया था। और उसके लिए बाद में होम मिनिस्ट्री ने एक विप्लव शर्मा जी के नेतृत्व में एक कमेटी गठन की, जिसने अपनी एक रिपोर्ट दाखिल की है, और उस रिपोर्ट के ऊपर में राज्य सरकार भी अध्ययन कर रही है और केंद्र सरकार भी समय आने पर उस पर उचित निर्णय लेगी। लेकिन ये समस्या जो है, इस समस्या को हम राजनीतिक समस्या न मान करके हम इसको इस तरह से हमें देखना चाहिए कि एक बहुत पुरानी समस्या है, विदेशी समस्या का समाधान होना चाहिए, और उसके साथ में यहाँ के जो इंडिजिनियस लोग हैं उनकी सभ्यता, संस्कृति।
प्रमोद स्वामी जी, आप एसेंशियली इसको वेलकम कर रहे हैं या नहीं?
नहीं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का कोई भी जो निर्णय होता है उसको लोगों को मान्य करना पड़ता है, और हम भी उसको मानते हैं और इसको मान्य करते हैं। लेकिन जो आसाम के लोगों की जो वेदना है कि 20 वर्ष का जो हमने अतिरिक्त बोझा आसाम ने जो ढोया है, उसके एवज में जो हमारी जो कल्चर है, जो आइडेंटिटी है, जो हमारे जो राइट्स है, जो इंडिजिनियस लोगों के, वो दैट शुड बी प्रोटेक्टेड। तो इसके ऊपर में सभी राजनीतिक दलों को गंभीरता से विचार करना चाहिए, ऐसा मेरा मानना है।
Raman Jha, how would you respond to this, Raman Jha?
हाँ, देखिए, आज हम ये मानते हैं कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जो फैसला है, ये फैसला आज असम के लिए एक ऐतिहासिक दिन है, क्योंकि असम के लोगों ने, असम के छात्रों ने एक लंबी लड़ाई लड़ी थी, और उस लड़ाई के बाद कई लोग शहीद हुए थे असम में। उसके बाद 15 अगस्त 1985 को असम अकॉर्ड जो साइन हुआ था, जिस समय भारत के प्रधानमंत्री स्वर्गीय राजीव गांधी थे, केंद्र में कांग्रेस की सरकार थी, और राज्य में भी स्वर्गीय हितेश्वर शेखर जी की सरकार थी, कांग्रेस की सरकार थी, हितेश्वर शेखर मुख्यमंत्री थे उस समय असम में। और असम के अग्रणी छात्र संगठन ऑल असम स्टूडेंट यूनियन आंसू ने त्रिपक्षीय एक जो हुआ था अकॉर्ड, असम अकॉर्ड हुआ था, उसमें यह माना गया था कि 24 मार्च 1971 यानी कि 25 मार्च से पहले तक, 25 मार्च 1971 से पहले तक जो लोग भी असम में पूर्व बांग्लादेश से आए थे, मतलब पूर्व पाकिस्तान, और फिर 25 मार्च 1971 को बांग्लादेश का जन्म हुआ था, उस समय इंदिरा गांधी मुख्यमंत्री थी, तो उनको स्वीकार था और मीटिंग हुई थी। और आज उस असम अकॉर्ड में उस छात्र संगठन के 2 नेता, जो वरिष्ठ नेता हैं आज असम गण परिषद के, आज असम सरकार में शामिल हैं, कैबिनेट मंत्री हैं, तो ये स्वागत योग्य है। हाँ, ये जरूर है कि इस असम अकॉर्ड में असम के लोगों की जो ये असम एक छोटा सा क्षेत्र है, और सन 1951 से 1971 तक असम ने बहुत सारे लोगों, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी कहा है कि 40 लाख लोग विदेशी असम में आए थे, तो यहाँ के लोगों की, यहाँ के जातीय जातीयतावाद जो लोकल लोग हैं, उनका हित की रक्षा हो, जो असम अकॉर्ड के तहत है, वो भी होना चाहिए। इसके लिए केंद्र सरकार, अब ये पाला केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकार के हाथ में है।
Sharda Prasad, if I can get you in at this point, how are you looking at the Supreme Court? It's of course a very complex issue. The illegal migrants, illegal immigration that's been happening versus those who have got citizenship versus those who are claiming citizenship versus the whole debate around locals and demography. It's a very complex issue, but how do you look at it as a law enforcer with what the Supreme Court has said?
You see, first thing, as a well-wisher of the people of Assam, having served there for 36 years, I wholeheartedly welcome this, I would say, validation of Assam Accord by the highest court. So this validation comes as a great relief, because had this validation not come, then perhaps there would have been occasion for further turmoil in the state of Assam. And whatever turmoil takes place in the state of Assam, it always spreads to the neighborhood. For example, when Assam agitation was there, say 1979 to 1985, then it spread to the neighboring states as well. And it's not only foreigners. I mean, the term used was Bahiragat. Bahiragat means those who have come from outside. Now, who has come from outside? What is outside of Assam? Outside of Assam, even West Bengal is outside, Bihar is also outside, Nepal is also outside. So it's a very complex thing if it is put into a trouble zone. So we must wholeheartedly welcome it. That's the first thing. Second is that efforts of people to bring back the date of citizenship to 1951 or maybe even before that. That has been set to rest. So whatever date was there in Assam Accord, that has been validated. That's a very satisfactory point of view. So it will give rise to peace and development in Assam.
Politically pan out?
Very
quickly, a minute to you before we move on. Or is that a wrong question to ask you, Mr. Sharda Prasad?
You see, it's difficult to... No, I will tell you. You see, those who are claiming to be on a particular side, just look back 20 years back. You find they were the protagonist of same Assam Accord. So it's a very amusing for me, having seen the days of Assam agitation, having talked to these people who are trying to find fault with the Assam Accord. Those who were, though not younger, say 30 years and below, those who were there those days, and everybody was in favor of Assam Accord. All political parties were in favor of Assam Accord. And it was a mass agitation. I happened to handle part of it in Assam, and it would not have been led to the peaceful ways had there been no Assam Accord. It would have gone in a violent way, which one banned organization has already, has showed the way, ULFA. So it was a good thing that Assam Accord came and peace prevailed in Assam.
Right.
Yes, Sneha?
This is a complex issue, and I wish we had more time to really continue with this, but there's a breaking news coming in regarding the Israel-Hamas war, and there are reports that there's a DNA of Hamas chief Yahya, which is being done from Israel. It's a big breaking news. So let me just very quickly thank our panelists, Sharda Prasad, Pramod Swami, Raman Jha. Sorry, we've had to cut this short. Quick break and we'll return to the breaking news.